In 2018, one event established the Algolympics and paved the way for all the events that would follow. Now that we're hitting the halfway point in the 2019 Games, the most viewed event in Algolympics history is finally making its return. This is Professor CC19, and welcome to Event 7 of the 2019 Summer Marble Algolympics, PLINKO. This is the classic event, the very first event of the Algolympics 2018, the event that established these games, and it is still the most popular event in the history of the Games. Now that it's making its return this year, there was only one small change to be noted. Just like in rock climbing, the positions 5th through 8th on the leaderboard will be established based on time. For the first round, those that finish in 4th place will have a 4th place consolation race. Those that finish in 3rd place will have a 3rd place consolation race to determine the bottom half spots. But for those that make it to the semifinals, but not the finals, we analyze the footage and find out who finished the quickest. That team will get 5th. Who finished the slowest of those that did not advance, that team will get 8th. Otherwise, the event is exactly the same as it was last year. And we are ready to get underway in our very first matchup of Round 1. Yellowfellas with Fellow, Jack's Jokers with Wit, the Team Captain Dark of the Black Knights, and also Team Captain Midnight of the Mystic Twisters. And I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to get things underway in this event in 3, 2, 1, go. Jack's Jokers looking for a better finish than they had last year in this event, finishing in 14th. And speaking of 14th, Mystic Twisters, the rookie team, has fallen all the way down to 14th in the overall standings. Yellowfellas also down there in 15th place. They would both love something good to come out of this event so they can establish themselves a little bit better going into the second half of these games. Looks like Black Knights and Yellowfellas are doing quite well. Mystic Twisters being a rookie team, running this course for the first time, they seem to be struggling along with Jack's Jokers for the second year in a row. Black Knights have already advanced, and Yellowfellas are also going to advance. Mystic Twisters appear to come in 3rd, and they do. Jack's Jokers for the second year in a row is going to go to that 4th place consolation race. So Black Knights and their team captain Dark have learned from their mistakes last year, just barely missing out on a spot in the semifinals in 2018, running with their back marble. This year, running with their team captain, they're going to win in quarterfinal A. Yellowfellas also going through to the semifinals. Mystic Twisters, like I said in the past few events, they have not been doing very bad, but their performances just haven't been in the top half, so they've been slipping over and over again in the overall standings, falling further and further down. This performance isn't going to help them. It's not going to be awful once again, but their max is now only 7 points. Now we're going to turn to quarterfinal B. Alright, now our second group of teams is in the starting gates. Team Transparent, Azure Royals, Grayscales, and Ultraviolets. Each is running a different strategy. We have a team captain, King, T-Yellow, who's second in the lineup, Lavender, who's third in the lineup, and Deco, who's the back marble for the Grayscales. So with 4 different strategies, the question now becomes, which of those strategies is actually going to work out the best? We have Ultraviolets and Team Transparent trying to catch up to the leaders in the overall standings. Those two teams are currently sitting in 2nd and 3rd place. The leader is also in this matchup, Azure Royals, sitting 6 points clear of Ultraviolets. We also have Grayscales, who is in the bottom half, trying to earn their very first medal of 2019. This seems to be a very good matchup. Grayscales, who were in 3rd, now all of a sudden shooting on that right side up towards the lead. Azure Royals currently in 2nd, trying to be tracked down. Well, not trying to be, but Ultraviolets are trying to track them down. It's not going to work there. In fact, Azure Royals, right at the end, jumps up towards the front and is going to get the win in this matchup. Ultraviolets is going to come through in 2nd. Team Transparent is going... Well, actually, no, pardon me. Grayscales are going to come through in 2nd place. Kind of forgot about them for a sec. Ultraviolets is going to be out. They're going to the 3rd place consolation race. And Team Transparent, after just missing the podium in our last event, they're going to miss completely. They're going to be in the bottom 4 in this event. T-Yellow can't really work the same magic as he did in the long jump. Completely different style of event here. T-Red did a lot better last year. So that is definitely a mistake made for Team Transparent.
But Grayscales, once again, advancing through to the next round. I don't think there's an event so far of this format that Grayscales have not advanced in. They have been incredibly consistent, but they're still yet to make it to the finals. Maybe this is their chance to do that. Also, Azure Royals are championship leaders. They have knocked out their biggest threats, the team sitting in second and third. So it seems to be smooth road ahead of Azure Royals. Maybe on track to get another medal, but they are definitely in a good position to stay in the top spot. Now we're going to move on to Match C. And now Heat C, Gold Globes, Strawberry Streamers, Icers, and the Crimson Crusaders, with Glimmer, Headstream, Icicle, and the new team captain, Conqueror. Conqueror is the last team captain to run in this event, and man, the past two events have been rough on the Crimson Crusaders, the Gold Globes, and the Strawberry Streamers. All of those teams falling several spots in the overall standings because of the past two events. On the other hand, Icers were the gold medalists in our last event, which caused them to go up several spots. Looks like the team captain is really doing a great job for Crimson Crusaders, and also Gold Globes doing a great job as a rookie team. Strawberry Streamers had a bit of a run there. You can never count them out in this event because they have had impressive moments in the past, in last year's runnings. Crimson Crusaders, very fast. They're going to finish in first. And even though you can never count them out, Strawberry Streamers are not going to be able to do enough to advance through here. In fact, they're just barely going to hold on to that third place spot. Icers almost pulled off an amazing run at the end. But the results of this match are pretty clear. Crimson Crusaders and Gold Globe is doing an excellent job. Strawberry Streamers are going to do better than last year, going to the third place consolation race. But Icers are not going to be able to continue their momentum from the last event. They were the silver medalists in this event last year, but they are not going to do the same thing this year. They are going to max out now at a possible 3 points. As we move to our final matchup of round one, Mintergreens, O-Raiders, Fireballs, and Team Neon. The final matchup of round one is already upon us, and we're going to have Flame of the Fireballs, Spearmint of the Mintergreens, On the Money of the O-Raiders, and N, the back marble of Team Neon, duking it out to find out who can advance. But the most noteworthy selection here is On the Money. The O-Raiders star marble is, of course, On the Ball, the speedy marble that won gold in this event last year. The only problem is there's so many speed-based events in the Algolympics that they can't run On the Ball in every single one. So that means it's a bit risky whenever they play a different team member in such a speed-based event as this. On the Money hasn't been known to be very fast in the past, but if he can succeed here, it would be a very proving event for him as a member of the O-Raiders. As of right now, they still are the favorites. Fireball's also one of the favorites from last year, but as you know, anything can happen. Mintergreen still struggling in the overall standings, 20 points after 6 events. They are still in last place. And it looks like even though he's not known for being speedy in the past, On the Money is off to a great start. O-Raiders doing very well on this course so far. Team Neon right now holding on to that second place spot and getting a nudge from Mintergreens. Mintergreens could have gotten through. It looks like Team Neon either blocked them or were helped by them. And that might have just hurt Mintergreens enough to kill their chances of advancing. Fireballs, we haven't really seen much at all from the Fireballs. In fact, Fireballs are going to finish in last place in this matchup. O-Raiders did not get the win, though, in all the action that was happening with Mintergreens, them going to the third place match, actually. I missed the fact that Team Neon took the lead away from O-Raiders right at the end. Doesn't really matter because both of them are going to advance. Fireballs, I think, is the biggest surprise that they're going to come in last place in this matchup. Their max score is now 3 points, and we are going to the fourth place consolation race right now. Alright, the teams that finished in fourth place in their round one matchups are back in the starting gates to face off against each other for 3, 2, 1, and 0 points in the overall standings. Wit of Jack's Jokers, T-Yellow of Team Transparent, and the two rivals, Fireballs and Icers with Flame and Icicle, are the teams that are in this fourth place consolation race. Fireballs and Icers both not happy to be here. Surprisingly, both of our rival teams, the intense rivals, especially Fireballs, last year's champions, are in the bottom 4 in this event. But they're trying to make the best of the situation they're in. Fireball's trying to salvage as many points as possible. Right now they're running up front a couple rows ahead of Jacks, Jokers, and Team Transparent. Icer's not doing very well. They're running behind. They're not really getting in on the action for their rivalry. But it looks like it's either going to be Fireballs. Well, actually, no. Look at Icer's. Icer's now coming up through. They're only going to get 1 point because T-Yellow, right at the end, jumped in front. T-Yellow team focused on not getting last like they did in Event 1. Team Transparent's going to get 3 points, winning the Consolation race. Fireballs 2, in the position that they are not used to being in. Icer's only 1, and Jacks, Jokers, they did not go anywhere from last year in this event. 14th place, actually they went down. They're going to get 0 points. Jacks, Jokers are going to come in last. Now we look up a little bit better to the 3rd place Consolation race for the teams that, of course, just barely missed out on advancing from round 1.
Alright, Midnight of the Mystic Twisters, Lavender of the Ultraviolets, Headstream of the Strawberry Streamers, and Spearmint of the Wintergreens are all back in the starting gates, ready for the 3rd place Consolation race. Now, whoever wins this race comes in 9th in the event, receives 7 points. Whoever comes in last in this race comes in 12th in the event, and will receive 4 points. Alright, they're all out of the starting gates. Looks like Mystic Twisters have a bit of speed early on, but it immediately fades away. Wintergreens and Ultraviolets now fighting for the lead. Wintergreens trying to take it clearly. Now Strawberry Streamers over on the right side. Mystic Twisters have less experience on this course, and it seems like it has been hurting them in this event. However, they have fought back through, and now Ultraviolets with a big run. I was going to say it could be anybody's race to win, and no, Strawberry Streamers right at the end. For the 2nd year in a row, Strawberry Streamers having a huge burst of speed at the end of a consolation race, and that is going to earn them 7 points. They're in the bottom half, but they did very well for the position they were in. I thought Ultraviolets had that wrapped up, but then Strawberry Streamers out of nowhere shot into the lead right at the last row. That means Ultraviolets is going to score 1 place better than they did last year in this event. They're going to earn 6 points in 10th. So for Ultraviolets, that means if Azure Royals stayed where they were, they would have been tied for the lead. Unfortunately, Azure Royals have already advanced. Wintergreens get 5 points, better than they have been doing in some of the other events. And Mystic Twisters, one of their not-so-good performances. In fact, this is, I think, one of their worst performances. Only 4 points, coming last place in this race. Now it's time for us to turn our attention through to the semifinals. Alright, our first group of semifinalists are in the starting gates for Semifinal A. Black Knights, Grayscales, Gold Globes, and Team Neon with Dark, Deco, Glimmer, and N. You can expect these teams to be going as fast as possible, not only to find out who will advance through in the top 2 going to the final, but also to try and guarantee themselves some good points in the 5th through 8th range on the leaderboard, which, as established earlier, is now based on time. And right out of the starting gates, Grayscales have a good run. They've had several good runs in the past in this event, just have never been able to make it through to the final. And at this point, it looks like Grayscales will easily win this race, but like I said before, anything can happen. But they are off-screen. Gold Globes, the rookie team, also doing very well in 2nd. But since Grayscales are not on the screen, and since they've already finished, we know that they are going to advance through to the final. Now the interesting battle is who is going to advance in 2nd, and the answer is Gold Globes. Black Knights are just going to miss out. Their team captain Dark could not pull through in the semifinals. Still a pretty fast time, though. Team Neon did not really see much of them at all in this race. They're going to sink back to last place. But it is going to be the 2 G teams, the rising stars of the rookies Gold Globes, and the winners of the preseason tournament Grayscales, that are going to advance through to the final. Very important for both of those teams, because Gold Globes are still trying to live up to their name and go for the gold, becoming the very first rookie team to win gold. So far they have 2 silver. And Grayscales also, this is the first time in these games that they have advanced through to the final in an event of this style. Like I said earlier, they've advanced through to the semifinals every single time, but they are yet to earn a medal. Right now, their likelihood of getting a medal has just gotten a lot better. We'll have to see how the teams do in Semifinal B before we can determine the positions for Black Knights and Team Neon. And speaking of Semifinal B, that's where we are going to right now. Alright, this is our last matchup before we can move to our high-stakes final, but we still need to find out who our other two finalists will be, out of Crimson Crusaders, O-Raiders, Yellowfellas, and Azure Royals. Azure Royals are almost guaranteed to keep their lead in the overall standings. If they advance through to the final, they are guaranteed to do so, considering the other teams that could advance. And right now, it's very likely that they'll do so. They're running their strongest member, their team captain, King, along with another team captain, the only other one still running, Conqueror of the Crimson Crusaders. A surprise in On the Money, proving he is a fast competitor of the O-Raiders, and the underdog Fellow of the Yellowfellas. If the Yellowfellas could advance, that would be a big surprise, sitting in 15th with only 30 points coming into this event, in contrast to 74 points for our leaders, the Azure Royals. You can tell as we go further and further in these games that spread is going to become greater and greater. And like I said earlier, Azure Royals very likely to advance. Their team captain King is doing very well for the team. Now comes the question of who is going to advance in second place. We have Yellowfellas and O-Raiders fighting for that spot. O-Raiders jumping in front. It looks like O-Raiders are going to advance, and On the Money will do it again. Here, who will get third, Yellowfellas or Crimson Crusaders? Looks like Yellowfellas. Almost deja vu from last year that those two teams were fighting for the bottom two spots in a semifinal round. But yes, Yellowfellas will beat Crimson Crusaders this year. And we'll have to analyze the footage and find out who got 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th out of the teams that did not advance. It's definitely more likely for Yellowfellas and Black Knights than it is for Team Neon and Crimson Crusaders, those that came in 3rd place versus those that came in 4th place. But we'll have to see. In the meantime, Azure Royals and O-Raiders, both advancing through to the final round of PLINKO for the 2nd year in a row. A different marble, it's On the Money, but this is, like I said earlier, a very proving event for him as a member of the O-Raiders, doing very well, and proving that the O-Raiders have more than just one speedy competitor. Now we're going to analyze the footage during the pause, and then I will tell you what happened, who got 5th through 8th, before we begin in our final race.
Okay, so we have reviewed the footage, and Black Knights have finished in 5th place, finishing in 40 seconds. Yellowfellas in 6th in 43 seconds. Crimson Crusaders for the 2nd year in a row will come in 7th, finishing in 45 seconds. And Team Neon slips to 8th, finishing in 47 seconds. With that said, we can move to the highest stakes matchup in the final. Grayscales, Gold Globes, Azure Royals, and O-Raiders, with Deco, Glimmer, King, and On the Money. 4 incredibly strong teams, all of which are deserving of a medal in this event. But 3 of them out of the 4 will earn medals. 1 of them will come up just short. It's the position where no one wants to be in, making it this far, but just missing the podium. It's time to find out our final results in PLINKO. In 3, 2, 1, go! O-Raiders looking for repeat gold in this event. Right out of the starting gates, they are quick. Grayscales were also. Gold Globes joining everybody off towards the right side. And now Gold Globes cutting in front of the O-Raiders for the lead. Grayscales trying to work their way through. Azure Royals, after such an impressive performance in the semifinals, at this moment are just off the podium. Now Gold Globes, another run. Gold Globes looking for their first gold. They got it. Gold Globes have finally lived up to their name and have gone for the gold. O-Raiders and On the Money come through with a silver, and Grayscales have their first medal of these games. It is a bronze. Azure Royals, after having a lot of luck early on, they are just going to miss the podium. They're going to get 12 points, but our top medal earning team from last year is not going to add to their medal count this year. The teams that will are Gold Globes, O-Raiders, and Grayscales. Congratulations to them. We're going to look at the standings for this event, but hashtag going for gold. Gold Globes have finally been able to do so. Here are the results from event number 7, PLINKO. And as you can see, the colors match perfectly. Gold in the gold. Congratulations to the Gold Globes for becoming the very first rookie team to earn a gold medal. Glimmer was the marble that was able to do so. They already have 2 silvers on the year so far, so this is their 3rd medal, and is definitely going to help them in the overall standings. Also, Raiders, it's definitely going to help them as well. It's also their 3rd medal. They already have 2 bronze, one from On the Ball, one from On Target. Now, On the Money gets to add his name to the list, and Grayscales getting their 1st medal of 2019, 15 points for their bronze. Azure Royals just missing the podium, followed by Black Knights, Yellow Fellas for the 2nd year in a row, Crimson Crusaders landing 7th place performance in this event, and Team Neon just barely making the top half. Of those that missed the top half, could not advance out of round 1, Strawberry Streamers just barely finished in the bottom half. 9th place, 7 points, just edging out Ultraviolets in the 3rd place Consolation race. Ultraviolets get 6, Mintergreens 5, Mystic Twisters 4 points is definitely not going to help them. Team Transparent glad that they are not in last place, but still 3 points isn't very good either. Fireballs and Icers, neither of them are pleased with their position on the leaderboard, 14th and 15th. And especially not pleased is Jack's Jokers, coming off a bronze in the last event. This is not what they were looking for. They are not going anywhere. 0 points for coming in last place. Now it's time to turn to the overall standings. We know that Azure Royals kept their lead, but there's going to be a lot of action happening, especially with Gold Globes getting 25 points. I think that might actually put them all the way up to 2nd place. Let's take a look at our overall standings. Well, just like I said, nothing is changing up at the top. Azure Royals still holding on to the number 1 spot after 7 events. They now have an impressive 86 points for just 1 medal. But now there are 4 other teams that have reached or passed the 70 mark and are within striking distance. Gold Globes going from 7th up to 2nd with their first gold at 79. Ultraviolets at 74. Raiders going from 9th up to 4th with 73. And Black Knights at an even 70. Team Transparent falling to 6th with 65. Grayscales finally back in the top half with 64 in their first medal. And Team Neon, Crimson Crusaders, and Fireballs all part of a 3-way tie at 61. Team Neon's gold overrules Crimson Crusaders silver, overrules Fireballs bronze. Poor performances for Fireballs and Jack's Jokers put them back in the bottom half. I noticed that Fireballs and Jack's Jokers have been staying very close to each other on the leaderboard. Fireballs tried to break away in the last event, but they are back in the bottom half now. Strawberry Streamers and Icers switching spots. Mystic Twisters nearly also passing Icers. They are 1 point adrift at 48. And Yellowfellows and Mintergreens now with 40 and 25, still in those bottom 2 positions. So that is it for one of the most popular events of the Algolympics, PLINKO. I hope it was just as enjoyable as it was last year. The next event, to begin the 2nd half of the Algolympics 2019, is going to be BMX cycling. But this year, since there is no 15-minute limit to my videos, you get to see all the teams finish the course rather than just the first team to reach the finish line and the other teams ranked based on how far they got. This year, you get to see the full race. Everybody gets to finish. If you found this video fun to watch and you'd like to see more of the Algolympics, as they're going to start their 2nd half, please subscribe. If you want to cheer on your favorite team, leave a comment on what you thought of this event. Leave your comments below. I love reading them. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for event number 8, the BMX cycling race.